What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I have some super exciting news that I cannot wait to announce today. But first off, I don't know if you guys have noticed the lighting. I actually got a chance to put in some of the LED lighting that I had from my previous garage before we moved back on over here. So now the lighting looks so much better because these little fluorescent guys were not cutting it. So super pumped about that. But let's get into the news of the day. So I told you guys I reorganized part of the shop, and the reason for that is I may have picked up a new car. So let me go ahead and show you guys the new addition to the family. We have a 1993 325 IS BMW E36. So as you guys probably are wondering, I already have an E36 shell. So this kind of is a long story, but I may have introduced it maybe in one of the episodes before. So as you guys notice, or as you guys know, I have just started basically this channel and I've been buying a lot of expensive parts. Now, as much as I want to keep doing that, that isn't exactly the most sufficient way of running this because they're expensive. I have to put them on the car. I have to keep building them. I'm waiting for parts. And I'm trying to keep a weekly upload, which I've been doing my absolute best. And I think I've been doing a really good job. I think we only had like a 2-day overlap, or not overlap, but extension on one of the videos to the other. That was just because of a work conflict, but we're doing good. And I want to keep that going, but I can't keep dropping that level of money on parts all the time. So I was like, well, what if I picked up a, yes, running and driving E36. This thing has already ripped villains, apparently, down in Walla Walla, Washington. It actually has the tech sticker right on over here. I'll show you guys it a little bit better further along, but I'm super pumped. This thing already has some really good parts on it. It's already got some angle on it. We will throw the FDF on probably in the future. Not probably, we will throw it on in the future because this is the car that's gonna get the 2JZ. And the reason for that is, I'll take you on over to the black and white one we have over here. So this car did get the shock tower reinforcements. We did put them on. Now, this side isn't so bad. Obviously, there's still some like icky, not the paint, but like there's a coating on here that when I use the stripper, it kind of made it look like a little, burnt cookie is what I like to call it. But as you can see, well, it's not terrible. It's all on here. Looks good. Now, when you come on over here, this side, basically it was good here. It blew a hole out of the tower right here. So we did that one first, and then this one was last. And the hole was about, honestly, it was about this big. And it's been fillered up. It's been grinded down. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone, but this is a structural part of the car. I mean, this is literally where the suspension is. So I really don't trust it. I know someone would be like, oh, you can do a tower replacement or just plate on the bottom. I don't want to put a ton of effort into this car to get a JZ in here, because that was the plan when I got the car. Yes, the back end's been tapped. They have a back half kit from Big Duck Club. I could do that. But for the cost it would take for me to fix that, fix this tower, and even then it would be a nightmare to get the thing perfectly straight, because when you buy these, you have to basically buy it to where you have to buy the whole frame rail, all of this and that forward. So I have to cut basically right here, and that's not going to be a fun time. Also, as you guys have been hearing in the previous videos, I can't even weld in here anymore, which was the not whole point of getting the shop, but the reason I picked this one over another one. I'm still fortunate to have the shop. This is a good amount of space. Not everyone can have this, and I know that. But I'm a little bummed about it. But anyways, yeah, so this car is pretty much kind of a paperweight at this point. So I haven't 100% picked what I'm going to do with it. I have one cool idea with it, and then the other idea is probably just to pick off, the steering rack, the subframes, maybe the arms. I don't know if the 325 IS arms are actually, they're not bad, but I don't think they're coveted. I mean, usually the M3 ones are. But yeah, it's kind of just sitting here now. So the one thing about this car though is before I show you the other one, this thing actually has, hopefully it'll show on the camera. This car actually has like a complete interior. It's actually really nice. It is folded down the back because I did have some parts that I was transporting. But yeah, I mean, besides the steering wheel, you know, not being stock, I mean, this is a stock black interior. So it's even got some M3 pieces too, which I don't know what the cost of all of it is, but it's all here. What I might do is I've been kind of going back and forth with an idea of I strip everything off this car down to basically I'll put dollies on it to put on a trailer and just take it off somewhere. And I'll keep the interior pieces that matter. Probably not, I'll hang on to the seats, but I might do something with the seats. And what we'll do is I might buy a 4-door one of these down the road, and maybe I'll do like a OEM Plus build and do a really cool BMW engine on a Link ECU. See how that goes. And I think it'd be a really cool build. Also would kind of be like an homage back to, you know, how cool the E36s are. Because the Panda body style is kind of growing on me, and I'm kind of bummed that this isn't the car we're picking, but we got a really good one over here. So I probably rambled on enough. This shell is no longer, it's no longer gonna be used for drifting. So I feel bad because the guy I got the car from, we've been going back and forth. So if you're watching this, I'm sorry, man. I don't know if you want the car back and do something with it, but I feel a little guilty about it. But I'm trying to get into a car that I can basically drift in. Okay, after watching the video back real quick, I wanted to give a full explanation as to why I'm not using the Panda E36 as we're calling it anymore. The main reason is, as I said, I don't want to put a bunch of effort into putting the 2JZ into this car, and the reason for that is as I was talking about the tower and as I was talking about the frame rail and everything else, the last thing I want is to put all the effort, put a cage. I mean, for lack of a better word, this car would get a lot of money thrown at it. And what I don't want is I put all the money into it, I don't feel like it's safe to drive on the street afterwards, and then on top of that, it can't pass tech for a track because some track and some tech and some series that you enter is very strict on what you can do to the shock tower. And on top of that, if it's not straight, I have to get everything basically perfectly straight. And when you weld, which again, can't do that here, I'd have to move the car, and it's just logistic-wise, time-wise, and just really, I know what I'm capable of. And as much as I want to go to that next level, I'm all for trying to learn a new step, apply it, learn on the fly, and do that. But trying to do that all at once and rush it and try and get a car running and sustain a channel, it just doesn't make sense. So that's one reason we are not using this shell anymore. I just wanted to give a very clear, transparent reason as to why. I don't want to throw a bunch of money, parts, and time at this thing if it's not going to live up to it. And also, it's got some good parts on it. Like, I could just steal that off, use them as spares, or, you know, even sell them. There is a cool idea I did want to do with this. I don't know if this is something that you guys would be interested in, but I'll just throw it out there. Obviously, I'm still going to take the subframes and everything else off of it too. We'll take the quarter panels, or the front fenders off, wheels, everything else. And what I might do is strip this thing basically down to a shell. And what I thought would be cool is I have an E36 drift car that I'm going to try and build as a competition car. That's one reason I'm not using this guy, is because I want one that I basically is illegal for all series. But what would be cool is I wonder if there's a way where I could build a simulator but have the chassis be kind of like my seat and where everything sits. That way it feels, when I'm on the simulator and it feels like I'm driving the actual car. I don't know if it's doable. I don't know if it's kind of just a pipe dream, but it would be really cool to do. So I'm interested to see what you guys think of. That would be something that I'd have to do later on, just because there isn't internet here. So I'd have to figure that one out, but that would really be the only reason. Other than that, yeah, that's kind of the only reason we're not going to use that shell. So I don't mean to interrupt the video, so we'll get on back on over to it. So, enough rambling on, I should show you guys basically this guy. So, as you can see, the fender is a little off-white, so they have been repainted. The hood's kind of got this cool little like, so when I looked from far away, I thought it was like some design. It's just peeling, but it's really cool. This is actually a completely stripped interior car. I'm gonna have to show you on the other side because that door is not exactly the easiest to open. But here's something crazy, you guys. This is a BMW E36. So as you can see, the door skins and everything else is like all stripped out. It's got a cool, I have a steering wheel I'm gonna put in there. Probably not gonna use that one. It does have this, I won't say the brand, but the shifter, I hate it because you have to go from second to first. I cannot get the car in reverse. So, because I hadn't had to when we were going and picking it up. So that's fun, but I have a new one on order. It should be here tomorrow from Drift HQ. Shout out to them. Picked up a really cool PMC chassis mounted one. So that'll go in the car very soon. The guy I bought it from was like 6'5", so I couldn't even test drive the car because the seat was bolted to the mounts, and just to save time, he took me for a rip. The thing is crazy. It actually has an RK Tunes tune on it. I know the car probably makes 170 horsepower, but with no interior and how light these cars are already from the factory, this thing feels like a rocket ship. It does apparently have stock cats, and I want to say stock exhaust. I have to get under the car and look a little better at that. I mainly only looked at the rear subframe because it has the chassis, not the chassis reinforcements. It actually doesn't have the chassis reinforcements, but that's one reason I grabbed this car. There's no cracks anywhere. Like, this is a really good shell. But it has the solid subframe bushings in the rear. I haven't looked at the trans mount yet. It was wet and the car was pretty low. I couldn't even really get under the trailer to even look. I'm trying to think what other parts this thing has. Yeah, it has an RK Tunes tune on it. It actually has, he said it was a SLR knockoff kit. It's got a FAPO angle kit and then some, I think, max PP rod coilovers on it. We will be putting the BCs on this car. That might be the next video. And then we can do kind of a comparison between the two. Not that these ones are bad, but I mean, those are the ER ones. Those are like what they run in Formula Drift. So those are pretty gangster coilovers. I'm trying to think what else is in here. But yeah, I was, basically the seat was so far back, my toes could touch the gas. So when I tried to show my wife, I basically had my butt on the end of the seat, and when I hit the gas, my butt just slid back. So it's adjusted now. I can sit in the car, but I might have to move more another inch just to get a little closer. But yeah, it's got some cool stuff. But here's the cool thing. Everything works. Even the windshield, or not the windshield, the windshield wipers did stop working the day I bought it. But the windows work. Windows don't ever work on BMWs, so that's kind of crazy. So I might roll it out here shortly. It's like absolutely freezing outside and there are people outside working. So I've been trying to kind of like wait off and push this back out and start it. But it's a little loud and I don't really want to disturb people as much. So I will show you guys. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, I'm pumped. This thing is super freaking cool. One of the things it does need basically an M3 bumper in the front, and I think the rear's not bad. Oh, there we go. Rear's not bad. Actually, I'll show you guys this real quick. Oh, one sec, guys. Like, yeah, it looks a little dirty because it's dusty and stuff, but like, those aren't crunched. That's not rusted out. That's not crunched. That's not crunched. Like, as you can see, like, the towers look perfectly fine. It's actually got a fire extinguisher and like kind of a little harness bar. The passenger seat does not have a seat belt, so I do need to figure that one out. But I figure out, I mean, do I just get another bucket seat and move that one over, give me the new bucket seat, and then take that harness and put it over there, or do I get two new harnesses? So
Haven't fully decided on that one yet. I've only had the car literally like 2 days. But yeah, look how clean. I mean, I know it's dusty, but like, look how clean it is in here, guys. Like, this is a really, really good shell. So I'm pretty pumped about that. I'm gonna interrupt today's video to talk about a really cool new product that got sent on over to me. If you may have heard of them, we have the TopDon JS3000 battery pack. So let's open this bad boy up and see what's in the package. Oh, that's cool. So we got the actual jump pack. Wow, that's really light. This thing probably weighs like 2 or 3 pounds, which if you have used any of these other ones that are kind of in this guy's class, they're probably like 10 to 15. They're pretty bulky. So let's see what else is in here. I have opened this up. I mean, it's gonna be in this package, but real quickly, we got our leads for our jump batteries, or for our battery terminals. We've got a little charging port and a plug-in to actually charge the unit up. So what's really cool with this is this unit actually has the capability to actually be a battery bank for all of your devices. And on top of that, it has this nice little stand, a hook to hang it, say from a engine hood. And if I hit the power button and hold it down, oh, maybe it's like this. We've got a LED light that's actually super bright. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's actually, yeah, let's see. There we go. And on top of that, a little strobe. This thing's super cool. I'm definitely gonna be having this on hand when I'm gonna be using this guy, because the last thing I want is my reliable drift car to have a battery problem and I can't drive it at the track. So basically, you can carry this on around. You don't have to rely on someone to have the jump leads and everything else. Or jumper cables, that's the proper word. Leads, jumper cable, depends on where you are in the world. But yeah, this is super cool. I'll show a little demonstration of putting it on this car. This car's already really charged up, so let's give it a shot. As you can see, it's a little dark in here. So why don't we use the new JS3000's battery. Wow, that actually is really bright. I really like that. Oh, and on top of that, oh, I don't want to lay it in that nasty little hole, so I'll use the nice little hook, hang it right there, and then we've actually got the connections for the leads. So you're gonna hang it here, connect it, hook it right on up. This thing's already really charged. I just drove it. I don't want to risk damaging this old battery, but this is really cool. I'm really excited to have this. So you should definitely head on over to TopDon.com. Go ahead and pick this puppy up and let them know that Kris Angus sent you. Also, real quickly, guys, I forgot to show you guys something really cool. So on the back of E36, as some people know, that the trunk actually has a toolkit, because they know that you like to work on your car a lot. So they left the tools in there. So what's cool is this is usually hijacked. If I'm not mistaken, I have everything but I believe the tow hook and one wrench. That's kind of cool because the other one, everything's gone. So it's really cool that they're here. And on top of that, this isn't just like, that actually, I don't know if you guys can tell, that actually says BMW on the top of it. So that's really cool. I don't know if they even make like BMW actually sells a kit for this. So I'll definitely hang on to this, and maybe I could put it in like some like that OEM Plus build car that I was talking about. I hope I'm showing it properly, but like I am really excited to have this thing. So yeah, I'm pumped. All right, let me show you guys the underneath real quick. Give me just a second. Let's do this one-handed. But yeah, M50 shroud is kind of still there. This is not a clutch fan. It does have an E fan on it. So there's actually a switch inside that I have to hit once it warms up. It has a little bit of a cold start thing, but other than that, it shifts, drives, everything. Well, I say shift fine, but I already discussed what was going on with the shifter. But it will go through the gears, at least from after you go from second to first, it goes through all of them fine. Not a big fan of that shifter. Real quickly, let me put a
Sorry guys, I had to put the prop up from my jack so I could actually like hold this and talk and focus. But I wanted to show you guys, yeah, look at the towers. So there is no reinforcements, but they are a little dirty. No cracks at all. And then if you look over here, no cracks either. I thought this one was, it's actually just a paint chip. So, or like a scratch, probably from like bolting this on and whatever, but yeah, pretty stoked. I mean, I know it is dirty. We'll probably give it, I'll give it like a little basic clean just so I can actually get to everything. But we'll do some basic maintenance. The guy I bought it from was actually like an auto mechanic as well. He really did take care of the car, and I kind of want to make sure I'm doing the same thing. But we are gonna probably top it off with some good fluids and stuff that I trust, so that way I know, everything is going well. As far as I know, the lights and everything work. I'm trying to think. I might try and push this out and at least show you guys what it looks like in the light. So give me maybe, well, for you guys it'll be like 10 seconds, but for me it'll be a couple minutes. So give me a moment. All right, that was a little rougher than the last couple times I did it, but yeah, pretty much fires right up, so I can't complain. Now you guys can take a big look at it in the sunlight. It's not perfect, but it's perfect for what I need. But yeah, I'm pretty pumped. So let's give you guys what it looks like in the daylight. Yeah, interior is pretty much stripped. I don't know what happened to the gas pedal. It was kind of like that, but I can still use my toe to at least hit the gas. It just needs some TLC. It's nothing bad. Don't mind the screwdriver, the flathead screwdriver. It's a long story. He lost the key. We ended up finding it. That's all I'm gonna say. There's the electric fan, but I'm just kind of letting it go through its little cold start. Of course, BMW. I had the check engine light and the ABS. I'm just gonna deal with everything like this until we're ready to put the JZ in. But I'm pretty happy. So we're just gonna let it warm up here real quick, and I will show you guys what it's like to drive this thing. All right, so it was a little too hard for me to try and shift this awful shifter, film, and drive at the same time, especially so I adjusted the seat to where I kind of messed up. So my brake pedal's fine. Like, I got enough movement, but if you watch my left foot, watch my left foot when I go to the clutch. My toe is fully extended. It's not exactly the most comfortable feeling. I probably need to move the seat another 2 inches. So that might be something that I'll do a little off camera, just because it's really cumbersome to film. If you're wondering how to do it, there is, let me see if I can show you guys. I'll get out of the car and show you.
there is basically, you take off these 4 bolts to lift the seat up, and then there's bolts and studs, or nuts and studs, basically right here. I have this one basically where it has one link back, but on the back rail. I'll have to take the studs off and move forward. It probably has to go forward like 2 more holes, if I'm being honest. Still, car is really fun, but until I get that shifter fixed, unfortunately, not to tease you guys, but it's just way too hard to drive. I'm not happy with it at all. So, yeah, that's kind of it for the 36. I'm really pumped that we have this thing. It's gonna be really fun to make some videos here in the future. I'll have to drive it forward and inside because, again, can't get the thing in reverse. Absolutely by no means do I regret this purchase. That's an easy fix. The rest of the car is pretty awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be great to get the suspension and everything else set up. And then we'll basically just worry about doing the drivetrain swap, and this thing will be the car with the JZ. So I'm pretty pumped about that. Yeah, I got nothing else to really tell you guys. So I'll see you guys in the next video. We'll be diving into this thing, and we should be able to do a fun little drive. So yeah, stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and head on over to angusauto.com and show some love. Peace.